All right, boys and girls, it is time for us to try to make OutKick history, the 5th annual draft. Loaded lines right now. We will take 10 at a time. I will let you know as those 10 are complete. You can also just continue to call 877-996-6369. As I said, we get 2 free spaces because I don't want somebody screwing it up, and it seems to be essentially a foregone conclusion. So we begin with Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we should have pick 1, a win for the OutKick draft out there. All right, let me say this. Right now, FanDuel.com/Clay, you bet $5, you win $100. 20-1 payout. That is free money for new users. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/Clay. If you have already signed up for FanDuel, go find your mom, your grandma, your dad, your friend, whoever it is, tell them you got $100 free at FanDuel.com/Clay. Maybe they'll share some of their winnings with you. In the second spot, the Jets are going to pick Zach Wilson. All right? That is 2 straight free spaces for us. I will now begin the draft with the first pick that is unclear, that is uncertain, that we do not know 100% what is going to happen. And we have been talking about this for weeks, ever since the San Francisco 49ers made the move up to number 3 overall. I believe they are going to select Mac Jones from Alabama. He has now become a fairly substantial favorite in the 3rd overall spot over Trey Lance and Justin Fields. So I have got Mac Jones going number 3 overall. All right, Danny G, you now have the 4th pick in the OutKick listener draft.
All right, Clay, I know it's early in the draft, but my team can't believe this kid is still available.
Yes.
He's an instant starter, all he does is make plays. His catch radius is elite. Matt Ryan and the entire Falcons offense is going to be elevated. Trevor Lawrence might be the best quarterback in this draft, but I'm getting the best overall player with the 4th pick in the 2021 OutKick listener mock draft. Team G selects Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida.
All right, we've got a lot of money, Dub and I do, as well as a lot of Fox Bet Live TV money on this pick. So Kyle Pitts goes 4 overall. Dub, you now have the 5th selection for the Cincinnati Bengals. Who are you picking?
Reunited, and it feels so good. The Cincinnati Bengals are taking Jamar Chase, wide receiver out of LSU, reuniting him with his former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Joe Burrow. I like this pick.
I love this pick. I think we have a pretty good chance to go 5 for 5 there. All right, so the first 5 picks are in. Up next, Eddie Garcia. You are picking 6th overall, theoretically, for the Miami Dolphins.
Well, let's keep the theme going. A reunion as well between a quarterback and someone he threw to in college, another wide receiver. Will it be Devontae Smith or will it be Jalen Waddle? I am selecting with the number 6 pick for the Miami Dolphins, wide receiver Jalen Waddle out of Alabama. I think he's a bigger play receiver than Devontae Smith, a little more size. And he and Tua had a rapport when they were together at Alabama.
Yeah, I like that pick. Remember, Devontae Smith said that he liked Mac Jones more than Tua, which I actually think could end up hurting him if the Dolphins go with a receiver at 6 overall. I agree with you that I think they take Jalen Waddle. By the way, in my mock draft, we're not going to do trades here, so I don't want people calling in and being like, so-and-so. I actually think that there's a decent chance someone trades up. The Dolphins trade back, and that's one of the quarterbacks, either Trey Lance, who I would predict, or Justin Fields. All right, Roberto, you are picking 7th for the woebegone Detroit Lions. Can you change their poor fortunes in the past?
All right, with the 7th pick in the 2021 OutKick mock draft, the Detroit Lions select Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State.
I don't think that's a bad pick. It's interesting. Dan Campbell, with the first pick of his coaching career with the Detroit Lions, would not stun me if he wants to send a message with a tough defensive pick. So you have got Micah Parsons off the board. All right, Dub. Now we are training. We can turn down the music, I think, in the background now. I think so I can hear, make sure we don't get screwed up, because inevitably the callers are going to make all sorts of ridiculous decisions. All right, so now we are going to the callers. With the 8th overall pick, the callers are now selecting for the Carolina Panthers. Who is up first, Dub?
We got Larry in Virginia.
Larry, don't screw it up. You're the first caller pick here in the OutKick mock draft. Who are you taking on behalf of the Carolina Panthers?
Penei Sewell, offensive lineman, Oregon.
All right, that's not a bad play. All right, Penei
Protect
Sewell.
Sam Darnold.
Protect Sam Darnold. A guy that, honestly, there's a lot of talk the Bengals might take, and he's the first offensive lineman off the board at number 8 overall. All right? Who is drafting now, Dub, with the 9th overall pick on behalf of the Denver Broncos?
We got Dominique in California.
Dominique, who are you picking for the Broncos? Oh no! I can't even hear what Dominique has going on in the background.
Yeah, he doesn't
We literally got one caller who was capable of actually making a pick. Drop Dominique.
Oh,
This
that's
is what I'm
great.
talking about. After my lecture at the end of the second hour, we literally had one caller actually manage to do this efficiently. All right, who's up next, Dub?
All right, let's see here. We got Anthony in Indiana.
Anthony in Indiana, you are drafting on behalf of the Denver Broncos. Who do you take?
All right, I'm glad I could trade up with Dominique, and I'm going to take Justin Fields at quarterback for the Denver Broncos.
I think that's a solid pick. Thank you for being ready to go, Anthony. This is like when the Vikings, I think it was the Vikings, skipped whoever it was, the Raiders. Was it the Raiders who didn't get their pick in time? We had Dominique ready to go, and then he just got skipped by Anthony. Justin Fields overall, the number 9 pick. I think there's a decent chance of that. I thought there was a better chance of it before the Broncos had made the trade for Teddy Bridgewater. But Justin Fields goes 9 overall to the Broncos. In the 10 spot, the Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock. Dub, who is making the pick for the Cowboys?
We got Ramstead Ralph in the Adirondacks making this selection.
All right, Adirondacks, Ramstead Ralph. Who you got for me?
Clay, my man, long-time listener, third-time calling. I actually don't have a pick for you. I know you demand and expect perfection from everyone. However, how do you expect the listeners to get it right? The teams don't even get it right. What the hell? I don't even know what to say. I mean,
Wow, this is all right. I think we got to drop him.
Yeah.
Look, here's the deal. This isn't the Oscars. Did you notice that the Oscars had the worst ratings in the history of movies? 9.85 million people watched. Do you know why? Because people got the microphone and they said all sorts of ridiculous things that have nothing to do with the movies. We're in the draft. I understand that some of you believe that meat is murder. Nobody cares about meat is murder right now, all right? I understand that some of you out there have really strong opinions on fracking. Nobody cares about fracking right now. We just want the Dallas Cowboys fracking pick. That's what we want here.
What did you say?
I said
Hit
the
the dump
fracking
button.
pick. All right, the 10th pick overall. This is, by the way, at best we're going 50% on callers so far. Who is drafting for the – and this is a big team. I would think there'd be a lot of demand for the Dallas Cowboy pick. Who we got?
We may have a division rival making this selection with Kevin in New York.
Kevin in New York. You're drafting potentially on the hated Dallas Cowboys if you happen to be a Giants fan.
Okay, with the 10th selection, the Dallas Cowboys select Patrick Surtain Jr., defensive back from the University of Alabama, Crimson Tide.
That's a good pick.
Nice.
Surtain is right now the favorite to be the first defensive back off the board. Some momentum for J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. We'll see what ends up happening. But Surtain has been one of the top targets for many mock drafts for the Dallas Cowboys in some time. So, solid bounce-back position there as we continue to roll through. Let me pull up my list here. With the 11th overall pick, I believe we are now going, if I'm not mistaken, to the New York Giants, who is drafting for the Giants, number 11 overall, Dub.
We have Mark in South Carolina.
Mark in South Carolina, who do the Giants select?
Clay, the Giants are taking J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina Gamecocks. Go Cox!
There you go. It was good timing for the South Carolina guy to be able to go grab J.C. Horn. And so the question had been, by the way, the Giants going to potentially go grab some offensive help for Daniel Jones. Just announced, by the way, they had picked up the fifth-year option for Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley expected to be healthy, back on the field, ready to roll. Let's go for the Philadelphia Eagles, making the number 12 overall selection. Dub is who?
We got Randy in Ohio.
Randy in Ohio. Who are the Eagles selecting?
Hey, Clay, I think the Eagles are taking a young up-and-comer Ligma out of UCincy.
They're taking who?
Ligma balls, Clay.
All right, I'm going to have to put a pause in here. Can we turn down the music so I can hear better? I can't hear some of these callers. All right. Who did he say?
He told a bad joke.
Yeah, I can't even say. So
Yeah.
So the callers, I'm not very impressed with you guys so far. All right, this is serious business. We want to get a hug from Roger Goodell because we've done such an incredible job for the mock draft, and so far the callers have not distinguished themselves. All right, who's up next?
All right, we got Corey in Virginia.
Corey in Virginia, you're drafting for the Eagles. Who you got?
Thank you, Clay. I've got the Eagles drafting Devonta Smith out of Alabama.
I like the pick. Thank you for making a play there. I do like the pick. Look, you've got Jalen Hurts, who is your presumptive starting quarterback. You have not had, so far, a really reliable weapon for him at wideout or, frankly, for Carson Wentz in the last couple of years. I think this is a really solid pick. I believe Jalen Waddle will be off the board. Certainly, Jamar Chase is going to be off the board. And then I think there's a decent little drop here after the receivers. Devontae Smith going 12th overall. The Chargers are now up on the draft board. Chargers had a good season with Justin Herbert, finished 7-9, despite the fact that they seemed to lose all 9 of those games on the final play. 877-996-6369 is our phone number, by the way. One more pick here coming up, or maybe two or a couple, and then we're going to go to break and we'll reload with the phone lines. Who's up to draft for the Chargers, Dub?
Yeah, let's go 2 more. And for the Chargers, we got Sam in California.
Sam and Cali, good timing. You are drafting on behalf of the Chargers in the illustrious OutKick listener draft. Number 13 overall. Who are you grabbing?
Well, the Chargers are taking Rashad Slater to protect Old Herbert.
That's a good pick. That's a well done. I mean, look, I think you try to protect Herbert. The expectation is there are 2 elite tackles in this draft. We already had Penei Sewell go number 8 overall to the Carolina Panthers. Now Rashawn Slater. Dad, by the way, played 8 years in the NBA. Reggie Slater, some of you may remember him, Northwestern tackle. A lot of people believe he can be a linchpin for whatever offensive line he joins for a very long time. And so the Chargers go with Rashawn Slater, number 13 overall. I think that is a very solid pick for them. So far, the actual picks, I think, are fairly solid. Last pick here before we go take our break and reload the phone lines. The Minnesota Vikings on the clock. Who is drafting for them, Dub?
We got Mike in New York.
Mike in New York. The Vikings on the clock. Who you got?
I think I got Jalen Phillips. Might as well go there.
Jalen Phillips on behalf of the Minnesota Vikings, and the first 14 picks are in. When we come back, the New England Patriots will be on the clock. Early read here. We have not yet had Trey Lance drafted, which is surprising. Would be a substantial fall for Trey Lance. I think decent. Again, I think there's a very good chance we get the first 5 picks right. I think we probably have nailed 2 or 3 at least others so far through the first 14. If I am right, we are on pace for a record OutKick listener draft performance, even with all the knucklehead performances among the callers so far, which is also exceeding expectations.